Most people experience some kind of stressors on a daily basis. Sometimes the stressors are more pronounced, more significant. Other times they're smaller and more benign. But what's important to remember is that every time we are experiencing stress or every time we are exposed to stressors, somewhere within us there is an emotional reaction, big or small, obvious or not so obvious. Whatever the case may be, those tend to accumulate in the sense of the residue, if you will, that they leave behind. So today I want to talk to you about this emotional residue, if you will, and its buildup that happens as we are exposed to stressors on a daily basis. So what is emotional residue? Emotional residue can refer to feelings or emotions that linger after a stressful event or after being exposed to some kind of stressor or stressors. It refers to the impact that remains after having been exposed to something stressful, whether that's an event, an interaction, or really anything that was a stressful exposure for us. The reason why this idea of emotional residue is important is because it is this lingering effect that can then affect people's reactions or behaviors in the future. It can even affect our thoughts and our feelings and emotions. This is why it's so important to recognize that emotional residue can exist and it can build up. And if left unaddressed over time, it can accumulate. When that happens, its effects can increase. Ideally, we should be able to clear the emotional residue on a regular basis. Hopefully on a daily basis. Some people might do it on a weekly basis. And we'll get to that in a minute. But what happens when emotional residue is not cleared out on a regular basis? As I said, its effects tend to accumulate and build up over time. The effects of emotional residue can be different for different people. Some people may experience irritability or the inability to focus or concentrate. Sometimes it may manifest itself in rapid or shallow breathing or maybe an increased heart rate. It can lead to feelings of anxiety. These are just a few ways in which accumulated emotional residue can express itself if not cleared properly on a regular basis. As I mentioned a few moments ago, it's important to either address this on a daily basis, or for some people it may be every couple of days or on a weekly basis, but I wouldn't recommend going longer than a week before doing something to clear that emotional residue, to help yourself, your body, and your mind to detoxify from the exposure to stress and daily stressors. You may be wondering, what can you do to clear this emotional residue, to clear and detoxify both your mind and your body? A good place to start for many may be journaling, whether you're journaling on a daily basis, every couple of days, or once a week. For some people, it may be moving their body, whether that's a formal workout, whether that's going to the gym, whether it's going for a walk, whether it's dancing in your kitchen. Whatever works for you is what matters. For some people, it may mean breathing exercises or meditation or quiet time at the end of the day or maybe at the beginning of the day. Some people find crying to be an effective way of releasing that emotional residue. So yes, some people will have a regular crying session. If you're someone who does find relief from crying or finds it to be an effective way of detoxifying your body and your mind, find a quiet, private space where you can do that, whether you do that once a week or every once in a while. It can be effective for many people. But whatever method or methods of clearing emotional residue and detoxifying you select for yourself, and remember, you don't have to pick just one and stick with just one. Make sure that you are engaging in some form of practice on a regular basis. My suggestion is daily or at least every other day, but if once a week works better for you, then do that. I don't recommend going any longer than that because the effects can really start to accumulate and affect you more strongly. The final note on this topic is the importance of being aware. Self-awareness and self-assessment can be tremendous tools in your toolbox of managing stress effectively. Being aware of what is affecting you and how it's affecting you are the first steps to doing something about it. So pay attention to your mind, to your emotions, to your body, and make sure that you're doing what you need to do to take care of yourself. If you'd like to learn more about effective ways of managing stress, check out the links below.